So welcome to this week's meditation atelier, and we're week 3 of the wintering season, and this in Catherine May's book. She wrote a beautiful blog actually today, which I'll add to the page so that you can have a read, where she talks about hibernation and slumbering, and I'll read a little bit about that towards the end of the practice. But this idea of how within winter, with the nights growing longer, that we need more sleep, but not necessarily in longer chunks. So an invitation to listen to the rhythms of nature. In the post today, she talks about the bearded dragon that they have, and that he's so in tune with his body that he's reminded them that they need to turn down the thermostat so that he can hibernate. So it has to go down from 35, so that he's curled himself up, and they've been prompted by him to turn down the thermostat so he can get on with his hibernation, and kind of remind us for ourselves of how we don't listen to our own thermostats. Let's begin by settling into the practice and scratching any itches, and I'm going to find the bell that I've not put here. So yeah, just get comfortable as you can be. Oh, there it is. Wriggle, squirm, adjust, and remembering to take care of yourself within the practice and listen to your needs. We are aiming for stillness, but sometimes that's not what the body doesn't cooperate. So listen and pay attention. So within today's practice, we're going to be exploring finding inner calm and peace as we are. The aches and the pains, the fatigue, the excitement, whatever's here. Just taking a moment to take an internal weather report. How are you? What does that look like? Does it have a shape, a colour, a movement? Is it heavy, light? Being interested and curious in your experience of what it is to be you today. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be but here. And to begin with, an invitation to let go of the sensory world around you and drop into your sensory world. Begin with a quick body scan, starting with the scalp, letting go of any tension that you might find here, and moving down to the forehead and the eyes, the mouth and jaw. If you can, having your tongue in the roof of your mouth. Your jaw unclenched. your neck and throat, letting go of any tension. Moving to the shoulders, allowing them to drop down, maybe massaging them just a little. We hold a lot of tension here. And then from the shoulders, moving your awareness to your upper arms, letting go of any tension or tightening that you might notice here. Into the forearms and the hands. Then moving back, your awareness back up your arms and your shoulder blades, your middle back, moving around to the chest, the belly, letting go of holding it in, although keeping enough tension to keep you upright. That just right, not too much tension, not too little, just right, like Goldilocks' porridge on the chair or the bed. And then to the lower back, the pelvis, the sacrum and the hips. Letting go of any tension or tightening you might find here. Then moving to the legs, the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs and the feet. And we're going to be using this body as an anchor throughout the practice. So expanding your awareness to include all of your body. Let's bring our attention to our body's experience of the senses, the 5 senses of touch, taste, smell, sight, sound. Beginning with sound, what if anything you can notice that the mind will wander, create stories. And each time we notice that it's wandered, bringing yourself back to the body, to your experience of sound. Our minds are like little puppies on a lead. They'll wander, and with time and patience and attention, they can stay more and more focused. The mind does what the mind does. We're noticing our habits and tendencies through resting in stillness with ourselves and our experience of the body. Just be aware of your body and your experience of sounds. And then moving to the sensation of sight. Eyes open, eyes closed, doesn't matter. What is your body's experience of sight? Again, dropping from the stories. Stories from the past, predictions for the future that the mind shoves in. That's not our business for this space. We can attend to that later. Our business is being present to our experience as it is. Now an invitation to move your awareness to your experience of the sense of smell. And now an invitation to move your awareness to touch. Contact with the earth. The physical and tangible felt sensations of what it is to be alive in this very moment. This present moment. Whatever is happening now. And now. And now. And now, moving your awareness, if this feels right for you, to taste. What, if anything, can you taste right now? Noticing if you label unpleasant or pleasant. Nothingness. What is nothingness? And expanding your awareness to include all of your body in this moment. flitting between the sensations that you're noticing, being interested and curious and kind. As we practice this business of being present, taking away the value of the past and the future, and just for the space of this practice, putting value on present moment awareness. Just for this time, this present moment. We're not expecting perfection. Our minds will do what they do. We notice and we return again and again. An attitude of goodwill towards yourself and your experiences, stories that you've housed here in this body and what it's experiencing of the world right now. Sights, sound, smells, touch, taste, warmth, coolness, heaviness, lightness, tension, relaxed, electricity, stillness, being curious and kind, the scalp, the neck, the shoulders, arms, your back, chest and belly, your pelvis and legs. What are they experiencing? What are you experiencing? Each time the mind wanders, coming back. Your job is to just be here now. And as sensations arise and you label them, it doesn't matter what you call them. Just be brief and come back to the felt and physical sensation of them. Just be here now. Noticing what it feels like to not worry about the past or the future. To be focusing your attention on the present moment just for the space of this practice. Placing down the burdens, just being present. How does that feel? No past, no future, just now. Now we're going to drop the labelling and the naming and simply observe what's going on. With a quiet and peaceful mind. Just what's going on in this moment. And when the mind forgets, and that's what we're doing, and starts with the stories on the past and what's going to happen in the future, starts thinking and concealing, doing what it does, coming back, goodwill, congratulating yourself for noticing. It can be quite intoxicating. Prefrontal cortex and the mind wandering, the stories can be quite fun. It might be telling you that simply observing your experience is very boring. Turning towards your experience with interest and curiosity. Being interested in you, what it is to be you today, exactly as you are. Your perfections and your brokenness. Kindness, curiosity, observing yourself. Just being here and now, not looking for perfection. Here and now. Quiet mind, quiet heart. That's our concern right now. Being disciplined and coming back again, over and over again. Taking away the value of the past and the future, just for the space of this session. Now an invitation to move your awareness to your breath. When we're breathing in, we know we're breathing in. When we're breathing out, we know we're breathing out. When we're pausing between the in-breath and the out-breath, we know that we're pausing. Allowing the breath to breathe itself, so not changing its rhythm, but simply noticing its flow. The breath is one of our direct links to our parasympathetic nervous system. It's one of the things that we can have some control over. This in-breath this out breath. In and out. No past, no future, just now. As best we can, being with our experience of the present moment and our breath. An invitation to feel a sense of goodwill towards your breath. And goodwill to your mind when it wanders. To the past, to speculations for the future. Gently but firmly guiding yourself back. Just be here now. Notice the moments of stillness. Notice the moments of inner silence. A little goes a long way. Perhaps noticing the pleasure as the mind quietens. As it becomes more still. Be here now. Just let go. Nothing to change. Being with things as they are. Letting go what you can. Let go a little for a little peace. Let go a lot for a lot of peace. Letting go completely. To be at peace. Just let go. And an invitation to just take a moment to stop and examine how you feel right now. How does it compare to how you felt at the beginning? There's no right or wrong way of feeling. We're learning to listen to our bodies and pay attention, learn their language, so that we can take care of our needs outside of the practice, the impact this has on our own health and well-being, and the ripple effect this has to those around us. By simply being present to our experiences as they are, with kindness and curiosity, warmth and openness. Things may not go as we'd like them to go. But can you hold a space for that? Can you be present to the experience of that, what it feels like in the body? So just taking one final weather report on how you feel now. Then I'm going to close the practice with a poem called Ode to My Socks by Pablo Neruda. Marie Murray bought me a pair of socks knitted with her own shepherd's hands. Two socks soft as rabbits. I slipped my feet into them, as if into jewel cases woven with threads of dusk and sheep's wool. Audacious socks. My feet became two woolen fish, two long sharks of lappy blue shocked with a golden thread, two mammoth blackbirds, two cannons. Thus honoured were my feet by these celestial socks. They were so beautiful that for the first time my feet seemed unacceptable to me. Two tired old firefighters not worthy of the woolen fire of those luminous socks. Nonetheless, I resisted the strong temptation to save them, the way schoolboys bottle fireflies, the way scholars hoard sacred documents. I resisted the wild impulse to place them in a cage of gold and daily feed them birdseed and rosy melon flesh. Like explorers who in the forest surrender a rare and tender deer to the spit and eat it with remorse, I stuck out my feet and pulled on the handsome socks and then my shoes. So this is the moral of my ode. Twice beautiful is beauty, and what is good is doubly good when it is a case of two woolen socks in winter time. So moving and stretching whatever way your body's been asking you of that maybe you didn't listen to, or you did and you need to do it again. And let's move into taking tea. And so I'm preparing as a goal, oh gosh, what's it called? I am Goddess, my tea of the moment. almost smell it. I'm just gonna wake it up. Quickly warm our cups. Before I open up the space for discussion, as we're on the final chapter of November, it's called Slumber, and I'm going to be encouraging you over the coming week to be thinking about your sleep, not making any changes, because that's something we'll do next week. Observing. So she's gone through a period of night waking and the anxiety that the darkness can bring, and that sort of sleepy frustration and the dark thoughts that can come around in the darkness of all the things you worry about, the smoke alarm, the carbon monoxide, or the things that you've forgotten to do, or the things that you did do that you wish you hadn't done, or squandered, or whatever, and then you wake up in the day and it suddenly seems okay. If my night waking feels elemental to me, perhaps that's because it was once a normal component of human sleep, only recently forgotten. In At Day's Close, Night in Times Past, the historian A. Roger Eckhart asserts that before the Industrial Revolution, it was normal to divide the night into two periods of sleep. The first sleep, or dead sleep, lasting from evening until the early hours of the morning, and the second, or morning sleep, which took the slumberer safely to daybreak. In between, there was an hour or more of wakefulness known as the watch, in which families rose to urinate, smoke tobacco, and even visit close neighbours. Many others made love, prayed, and reflected on their dreams, a significant source of solace and self-awareness. In the intimacy of the darkness, families and lovers could hold deep, rich, wandering conversations that had no place in the busy daytime. This was a function of the times in which the night really was dark, when the poor would go to sleep early to save the price of candles, and even the rich would have the choice of struggling on with their occupations in limited light or surrendering to sleep. Outside the house, the streets were usually unlit, so the only navigable space was home. This was so ordinary, and perhaps also so private, a moment in the day that little was written about it. Eckert picks up a range of passing references to the first and second sleeps in diaries, letters, and literature, but this ancient practice is nearly invisible in the contemporary eye. And then she goes on to talk about some studies around that, an alternative perspective on those wakings. So we're going to move into a space of sharing about the practice. We often sit in companionable silence. For those of you practicing in your own time, an invitation to explore what, if anything, came up for you in that practice, what worked, what didn't, what was interesting, and if there's anything that you want to explore with me, do let me know. So my setup's a little bit different down here. So just taking a moment to settle as you are, no need to have an amazing posture or anything. This is the kind of thing that you can do in the supermarket queue, wherever's stressful. Like the washing up, again, preparing another meal, finding more socks everywhere. Okay, so just taking a moment to feel the points of contact that you're making with the earth. And checking in with your five senses: sight, touch, smell, taste, sound. And then narrowing your awareness to your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. In and out. And then expanding your awareness from the breath to include all of your body. And then placing one hand on your heart and one on your belly. You can say this out loud or internally. May I be well. May I be safe. May I live with ease. And may I be kind to myself and others. And as best you can, taking this sense of connection and awareness into whatever you have left to do with your day. Take exquisite care of yourself, and I will see you next time.